This is Down Home Sports, covering the best sports and student athletes in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank with ATM Live, powered by the people. Not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. The United States Marine Corps, the fighting spirit of an entire nation. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. For the best in artisan pizza and burgers, go to Doe City in Red Oak, Texas, across from the high school. It is delicious.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy-to-access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC. Well, hey, Ellis County, guess what we got going on? We got the Maypearl Bass Club. We got Heath, sophomore, Ty, a junior. And guess what, folks? They already took 8th place in their first tournament this year, trying to make it to that state tournament and then on to nationals. And guys, welcome to the show. And we don't want to forget about the boat captain. Of course, you know, it's Chris right there in the middle. So Chris, let's talk about these two young men real quick, okay? As a captain, you're out there scouting these lakes with them. You're helping them out. You're helping, kind of giving them some advice, kind of like a caddy in golf. You know, let's talk about the character of these two young men first. You know, I mean, not them being characters, but just their character and, you know, to be in a sport that's actually pretty darn difficult.
Yes, sir. They hit it pretty hard from the get-go first in the morning. I mean, it's nonstop from 6 to 2. And they're grinding it out the whole time. And they're on it.
Well, Ty, I mean, y'all catch 4 fish the first tournament, 7.31 pounds. You come in 8th out of 76 teams. How good did it feel to get out there and have that kind of poundage first time out?
It felt really good to start the season off and have a halfway decent bag. It's always good to break the ice early in the season and not finish dead last. Just get the fish in the boat and start a good season.
Well, and Heath, you know, most people don't get this, but when you go weigh in, they make you take a lie detector test and everything else. I mean, you know, most people don't get the nerves that may go with that. But when you're fishing with your partner, you don't want to let them down. So how do y'all keep that camaraderie on the boat throughout a tournament when you're maybe not catching anything for a couple hours?
We just keep fishing. It gets boring. We get tired. And we just keep fishing.
Well, that's pretty good, man. Well, I got a buddy of mine. He always says you don't go fishing, you go catching, you know. But, Chris, let's hop back to you. You know, we talk about this team started out in 2017. You only had 2 anglers. How many anglers are y'all up to now down in Maypearl?
Oh, we got 25 anglers now, sir.
Awesome. Well, and Ty, back to you, man. What's something that you would tell another young person out there why they should get into fishing with a local community bass club?
You know, there's a lot of different reasons that people fish. I like to go fish, especially with these guys right here, just because we always have a good time. We might not catch a single fish for 5 hours, but we're always cracking jokes, making fun of each other, but we're all laughing with each other, not necessarily at each other. But just get outside, get away from the screens for a little while and go sit on a lake. And if nothing else, you might not catch a fish all day, but at least you're having fun with your buddies.
Well, and Heath, going off of that, having fun with your buddies, how many of these, you know, y'all 3 are on a boat all the time together, right? And so that bond's going to be a lot tighter maybe than the rest of your team, but I'm sure you spend a lot of time with the team as well. How are these bonds forming for you going to last a lifetime?
It makes us feel good. Like when people ask me what lures we're using, I usually tell them something that we're not using, so they won't know. And it's just fun.
Well, you got to help the Maypearl Club out, right?
Gotta help ourselves out first.
Okay, that's true. That's a true angler right there. Let me tell you. Well, Chris, did y'all make it out to the lake this week?
Oh, sir, we've been footballing all this weekend.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we won't talk about that team that won't be named. That's all in the past now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
But
looking.
Ty, being a small town, I mean, y'all got a pretty famous bull rider from Maypearl that's out there. You know, do you hope to make your note and your name out there someday in the angling business?
Yes, sir. It's a small town, so your name it might get thrown around whether it's good or bad. Everybody knows who you are. But I would love to go pro, and whatever God had me, whatever God's plan for me was, and to go pro, I would love to just follow through with that.
Well, what about you, Heath? Are you looking to go pro, or are you looking to go bass fishing in college?
Whatever I get a scholarship for, to be honest.
Okay.
I'd rather go for fishing than anything.
Hey, I think most of us would, man. I think most of us would. Well, Ty, what's one way that if somebody has interest in joining y'all's club, because I know that y'all just aren't high school age kids, it goes a little bit younger as well. So what's one way somebody could get involved with the Maypearl Bass Club?
There's several ways. I mean, just right off the bat, if they see us at school and they say, hey, I would love to come fish, we can give you somebody's number to contact and figure out how to get you on the team.
All right. And Chris, you know, there's a lot of parent involvement with doing this sport. You know, there's so much parent involvement. You know, y'all are driving the boats for them. You're trying to help them out, trying to find sponsorships, because this is not a cheap sport, you know. But talk about how people around the area could help out the Maypearl Bass Club and the rest of the bass clubs out there.
Just getting involved with some of our meetings. Fortunately, we've got 6 or 7 good sponsors that help us out. And this year, our team's really grown. And thanks to my wife, she busts her butt getting all that out there, information and how to help. We have a couple little fundraisers that we do, and try to post them online for everybody to find out what's happening. And we've got our own Facebook page. People can get any information they want there.
Well, Heath, what's y'all's goals for this boat this year? Are y'all going to do THSBA or trails? And which one are y'all probably going to do the most?
We'll probably do Central Texas fishing.
Okay.
High school fishing tournament show. I think that's what it is.
Awesome. Well, do y'all have a goal of trying to make state this year?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Ty, what do you think it's going to take for y'all to make state this year?
I think it's always, you never know getting on the boat. You could really think it's going to be a great day on the lake, and turns out at 2 o'clock, you're just grinding, trying to catch one fish. It might not even weigh. But I think it's really just going to be hang in there, try to place at every tournament, catch at least one fish to weigh in and weigh.
Well, and Heath, how might y'all go about that this year? Just going to be doing more scouting on the lakes?
More pre-fishing, I think. But when we go pre-fish, we usually catch a lot of them. And tournament day comes and we don't catch none.
Gotcha. Well, Chris, I want you to spill the beans on these boys, okay? I've seen some crazy things out fishing myself. Is there something in particular that you've seen both of them do? We'll go one at a time. We'll start with Ty, that you've seen Ty do that you just crack up about, and that's a story you're never going to forget.
There's been a couple of instances where we've had broken rods and getting hung up and breaking fishing poles and stuff like that with Ty.
Well, yeah. What about Heath?
Yeah. So we're fishing along there, and up on the bank, swimming is a duck. And this boy right here, he's wild. And I can already read his mind. He's looking at the duck. And I'm saying, don't chunk at that duck. Lo and behold, he chunks over there and hooks this thing. And it's flying across the thing. Luckily, the line broke and had to get on him a little bit, but he did hook it up.
So if we had a GoPro on your boat, it might be called Deadliest Catch.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's some good stuff. Well, guys, man, appreciate y'all jumping on. Keep us up to date with the updates. And hopefully we'll see y'all at the state tournament. And sooner or later, we're starting to get enough bass teams in this county. We might have to have our own own tournament in the county pretty soon between us, y'all.
Yes, sir. It's unbelievable how many teams there are out there now. I wish they had it when I was in school.
I say that every day about something around here, let me tell you. Well, Ty, Heath, Chris, y'all keep throwing them lures, keep dragging them in and putting them in the bag every week. And I'm sure we're going to see you doing a great job and making that state tournament down there this year. So thank y'all once again for coming on, and we'll see you on down the road. In Ennis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
That it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas. All right, folks, guess what? We got Coach Wendel, Midlothian Panthers, 2-2, 1-0 in district right now. And Coach, you come off a bye week. Team, had some bye week struggles, trying to get back in the mold, but you came through with the victory. What are some of the positive things that you saw come out of this victory this week?
Well, the one positive was we got some guys back that had been banged up. Jackson played. He didn't play the last game that we played. Really didn't practice much during bye week, so we were able to shake off a little bit of rust with several kids that were like that were banged up, and we started to get healthy. Obviously, the big positive is how good our defense was, and not only the dominant performance that they had in the way that they played, and the way that they fit the run, the way that they covered the pass, but to answer the bell every single time that they got. We had 4 turnovers and a horrendous punt, and put the defense in bad position after bad position after bad position. And they didn't. No one ever complained. They just went out there and played football and played it at a high level. And I was really, really proud of the defense. Probably as good as performance that we've had in a 3 years here on defense. And then obviously we turned the ball over. I think the second play of the game on offense, and hold them 3 and out, and Birdville has a chance for a chip shot field goal, and we get a phenomenal push by Bryce Starlin at defensive end or defensive tackle, and Tyler Knighton shoots that gap. Coach hold on a second. Coach Irwin does our PAT block, and he had that thing designed and felt good about it all week. And those kids, they came off the ball with an intention to go block it, and did a lot of teams take that play off. Our team didn't, so I was really proud of that effort. I think our offensive line got better over the bye week and showed some promise, doing some little things right. We were obviously banged up at fullback, but getting Caden Smith in there was a kind of jump started us in the second half. That was a positive. Having 2 quarterbacks get reps was a positive, I think, for the future. So there were a lot of positives, and the most important one, though, obviously, is 1-0 in district.
Yeah. And, talking about, we'll go to that offensive line first because that's one of my favorite things to talk about. But it just seemed like, Joe Brock was 20. Joe Brock Cavender was 20 yards down the field. Etheridge was pulling really good the other night and still on that backside on that sweep play going to the near sideline from where we're doing radio. But just talk about those guys. I mean, it just seems like they're gelling really good right now, a little bit more in depth. I know you got some young guys on there that hadn't necessarily taken those varsity snaps and what that's meaning for your running backs, because it just seems like they're opening up some big holes for them.
Yeah, we need to get some more consistency. And I mean, again, our fullback situation was kind of in dire straits the other night, had two of them out. Caden didn't get very many reps at all in practice this week at that and just went in their second half and did well. But Cole Quigley played in left guard, had his best game by far. As a whole, our offensive line's pad level looked like your midseason form now, much lower than it was week one. I thought our scoop steps, which are typically backside steps, showed noticeable improvement. We need to be a little bit more consistent in that. I thought our pool plays, both right tackle, Tyler Etheridge and Daniel Hesselgesser did a really good job of fitting up on linebackers, running their feet. That takes time. It doesn't just happen. You might go to the right place the first day of August, but to fit up and on different angles and to read the kick out block or the log block of the guard is it just takes some. That's why you practice, and then Brock is playing at a high level. Brock Cavender, and then Kelvin at center did a good job for us and seems to be getting better each week too.
Well, the one reason I bring that up is now I want to emphasize a little bit on the line was y'all took, some major shots down the field this week, drop back and it seemed like you passed a little bit more than what most people are used to seeing a Midlothian team do, and really had no pressure on the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, not from the offensive line. I think fullback, we got a ways to go with their pass protection.
Yeah.
There were a couple times the quarterback had some pressure there, but yes, the pass protection was really good by the offensive line. Best we've probably done since I've been here. I think we threw it. I don't know, but the offensive line's pass protection was really, really solid.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, this has to be some of the biggest team speed at the wide receiver spot, much less the entire team in your tenure there at Midlothian. And how's that going to make y'all even more explosive as you unveil your playbook?
Well, I feel good about it. We've got a ways to go. We're obviously behind. They are the fastest kids that we've put out there. They have really good hands. They're exceptional athletes. And I'm talking about Carson Bates. I'm talking about Tay Jackson. I think Brian Wesco has a huge upside. So we've got three really good ones that we feel like have different talent levels and different skill sets that we can use all the way across the board and make people cover both deep and wide and the option stuff, which I think will put a lot of pressure on people. Problem with that is all three of those guys are starting on defense, and they play a really, really high-level ball over there too. But with the cooler weather and I think we're trying to be smart about the way that we're practicing them so the bodies don't run down, and trying to be smart with kind of limiting how many plays they get on offense because, we're still one of those schools that we're going to put our best players on defense first.
Yeah. And, going back to the defensive side of the ball, somebody that's really impressed me lately is Makai Denton.
Mikhail had a good game.
Yeah.
He's consistent. He loves football. He loves practicing. He's out there every day. He's doing extra work. He does really good. I thought our linebackers had Drew Coleman had his best game of the season. Tyler Knighton he's been pretty consistent and had really solid games all year, but he played well. D-line played good. There's some small things they can get better at, but overall, defense played really, really well.
Well, and one of the big things was I think your special teams, when you mentioned that punt block, but your special teams really didn't give anything up and kept the field position other than that one punt in y'all's favor for most of the night.
Yeah, I think having Tay back there on the punt return to field some of those punts and saved us. I added it up. It's about 40 yards he saved us on catching two of those punts or fielding two of those punts. And, I still think we have a lot of work to do on special teams, and we're going to play some really good people on special teams. But the effort's there, and I think we're working on the little things.
Yeah, and, this week you travel up, you get to come home. You don't have to be on the road for this one. But you're facing a Colleyville Heritage team. You know, that's a big, high-slinging team. Do you think this year that you have the defense to kind of put them in check like Trinity did?
Well, we're a different defense than Trinity, but yes, I know that our secondary is going to be up for the challenge. I think that we have kids that like to compete, like to play ball, and they're going to go back there and do well. They have a big, tall quarterback that throws the ball all over the field, and they're going to go a lot of tempo. So we need to do our part on offense to make sure that we keep the ball out of their hands. I think it's real important that they get about 60 to 70 downs of offense. It's not 90. I think that'll be really, really important since we've got about 5 kids playing both ways. Yeah, we're up for the challenge. We just got through meeting defensively, and staff feels good. And looking forward to competition and looking forward to being at MISD Stadium.
Well, and, you know, one of the big things for me is about the team this year is it just seems like, can you talk a little bit more about your leadership? It just seems like you got leaders popping up all over this team that are really emphasizing what it means to be a Panther.
Well, I feel like our leadership is growing. A lot of the guys on our leadership council are underclassmen, which is kind of new for us this year. I think we got 4 seniors on there. You know, Bryce Starlin's a kid that's really impressed me the last couple of weeks with his leadership. Carson Bates has really impressed me with, and really Cameron for that matter. They're a set of twins, and they love football, and they love their teammates. And if they've ever had a bad day, I don't know. They're in a good mood when they're here. They love being around, and that type of enthusiasm is contagious. So those 3 are really showing signs of being separating themselves as leaders. We've got other ones that are Brock Cavender, who has not really been a vocal leader. He's just been a solid football player for 3 years. All of a sudden, he's being a vocal leader and showing younger guys the right way to practice. And so we've got a lot of leadership on our team, and I think it's growing, and I think they're getting better at it and more comfortable with it.
Well, and, you know, we talked a little bit about this the other night on the show last week. It seems like the leadership that y'all had over there over the past 5 years has really taken it and made sure that these people start understanding what it is to play at that high level. You know, people like JT Cavender, over WT, you got, the other, one of the 4 Tompkins boys that you got over at Air Force. These guys left their mark on the field, Landry Songer, et cetera. How has that affected your program and help build those building stones?
I think if you have people that model what it's like and what it means, it's obviously, my son's now on the team, and he looked up to all those guys along with Riley Angel and several other kids. And they just, now that you've got a whole bunch of those like that on this team that are going to be back next year, you're kind of excited about how you can continue to make sure that grows, and that you don't just have 10 kids that know who those guys are. You're going to have 30 or 40 that are back and looking at 10. So leadership's important. It's an important part of our culture. That's what we put in our team room. We put a picture of the guys that are playing college ball, but we also put a picture of the guys that were first team all district, and we put a picture of the guys that were academic all state. And kids that try to do the right thing each day and choose the right, as we like to say, good things tend to happen for them.
Well, and you've gotten pretty darn good play out of Regal at quarterback so far this year. Just talk about him a little bit and how he matured really fast, and he's done some pretty good things thus far.
Yeah, Chad's just an awesome all-around kid, and just one of our favorites in the program. He comes every day. He doesn't have an ego. He just comes and works. He doesn't really care what position he plays. He just wants to play football and wants to compete. And he had a rough game the other night in some facets of it, but he'll come back in here Monday and clean some of that stuff up. And he's played some good ball and dished the ball where it needs to go. We just need to continue getting better at that position. Quarterback play needs to improve, but there's nobody we'd like to be coaching other than him. He does a great job for us.
Well, and I want you to take a coaching cap off for just a second. You mentioned getting 2 quarterback snaps this last week, and just as an individual person, was it a little bit of fun just to get and see Drew Wendel out there taking some snaps?
Well, it wasn't fun Friday night, really. I didn't pay any attention to his quarterback. But you know what is fun is I've been doing this a long time, and I've spent a lot of time away from the house, and coaching, and to be able to go out to practice each day. And I'm not coaching his position, don't really want to. But to know that I'm on the same field with him, or I go into a huddle and he's in there, and that's fun. The pregame was fun. Seeing him suit up last night or Friday night was special for me after the trials and errors he's been through over the last couple of months. So yes, it was special. It was fun, and we got a picture at the end of the game. But during the game, it's not much dad involved.
No, I imagine not. And, this last couple days ago was National Daughter Day. So, I know that your daughter has been the team picker-upper for a while. What's it like being able to have your daughter out there with you? When you're around all these guys all the time, and like you said, as a head coach, you don't get a lot of family time. But do you want to say something about her, about honoring her on this National Daughters Day?
Well, I've got two daughters. One of them is Delaney is the oldest. I think she's 11 now. She turned 11 about 6 weeks ago. Rain, sunshine, whatever it is, it's always a good day with her. And she always gives me a hug. And she thinks we win every game, and she's special. And then the other one's very competitive, wants to know the plays. And before I came to work today, she was watching video with me and said, I think if you break this receiver off here on this post, he's going to be wide open in the end zone. I said, okay. And so having both of them around with their totally different personalities is a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, you got a pretty tough schedule going out. Everybody talks about District of Doom in Texas. I don't think there's one district that's not tough pretty much across the state in 5A. What are some things that I know you're going to say, we need to clean up turnovers and penalties, but what are the things that excite you about going into the rest of this district season?
Well, I think, we're not 100%. I don't know if anybody is, but I think we're getting healthier than we've been since the first week of practice, and that's fun. I think we have an understanding of kind of who we are and where we're going. Kind of have a vision for the remainder of this season and moving forward with what we want to do offensively. And I feel like we've settled into who we are and and on defense. And that's a good feeling, not being searching for answers here week 5 or 6. And then just the competition that, I don't know these guys real well, but I think the district is coached by good men, and they do a good job. And then we get to play, Colleyville Heritage ranks in top 5 in the state. Mansfield Summit probably will be by the time we get to them. They're looking really, really good. Centennial's always tough. Red Oak's got tremendous talent. Birdville, I think, is a solid football team that we just beat. Richland looks really good. So just getting to compete against high-level talent. Most of these teams have several D1 players on them, but also to compete against good men and guys that really do the job right and coach the heck out of their kids makes the competition fun.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you need to get ready to go back to the house and hopefully recharge for the rest of the week. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on down the road, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Elite Tire and Automotive. Ever have one of those days and just need a little hand? Well, with our remote services, we'll just hop right on it. Get you back on the road quick and easy. With automotive services to cover all your mechanical needs. Need that state inspection done? Well, we can do that too. So roll on in and see a friendly face. Give us a call and we can be right on the spot to assist you. So trust the friendly folks down at Elite Tire and Automotive, 972-775-1055. Guess what else, County? We're heading down the road to Ennis right now. We got some runners going here. We got Coach Redney. We got Noah Bramwell. Guess what? Their cross country team doing pretty darn good this year, and they just hosted the Lions Den. Coach, Noah, welcome here to the show. Coach, talk about the Lions Den and the good results y'all got out of there.
Well, that was the 23rd year that we've had Lions Den. So appreciate the community support on that to keep it going. We had 45 squads that showed up to Ennis last Saturday, and I believe if my numbers are right, we had about 1,570 kids run through there. So it was a pretty good meet. The guys, that was the best meet they had up until this last Thursday, as far as running close together and their times. I know Noah he had a goal of breaking 18, and he got really close. Our course was a little long, so it kind of threw his time off. And a couple of the other guys ran some PRs, even though it was a longer course. So not bad. On the girls' side of the house, we got the girls through. I believe they finished in the top 6 teams in the division, so that wasn't half bad on the girls' side. So that was our results. The junior high kids did pretty good. I think the girls were in the top 10, and I believe the boys were also in the top 10.
Well, and Noah, we talk about things in this county that have a lot of history to them. Richards Park, Waxahachie Ennis football game. This is a pretty big tradition that you're able to run in as the Ennis Lions Den. How does it make you feel being a part of that history now?
Got me really excited. I'm really trying to fight to bring it home for the guys this year. I really want to take us to regions, and it feels great being able to run in my hometown. Hopefully we can keep it going. At best, keep it at the school. If not, head to hopefully one of the closer parks. But
very cool, man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just excited about this year because I think we got a real shot. I think with some of our new runners coming in, I think we can definitely work on teamwork and lifting some of our guys up. And if we throw a miracle, we might be able to get the guys in the regions. I don't know.
Very nice. Well, Coach, we ask y'all to bring whoever you want on, and there's reasons why you bring certain individuals on here. And just talk about Noah for a minute as a person and what he means to your team.
Noah's a young cat. He came to us last year as a freshman, and didn't know much about running, and he's blossomed this year. He's taken what we've taught him last year and added what we got going on this year, and he's blossomed into a leader of the team. Even as a 10th grader, a lot of times you don't see that with these young kids. You don't see it until their junior or senior year, and he's already stepping into a leadership role. He's a great kid, works hard in class. Teachers all got great things to say about him. The guys, they get along with him. Some of the guys, look up to him for advice on certain running aspects. So, it's great having Noah in there, and he's been a great addition to the team.
Well, and Noah, being an underclassman and everything and stepping up in that leadership role, most of the time that means that your work ethic at that early of an age is extreme, is extremely high. Your character is extremely high. I mean, are you that kind of guy that is out there with your mom behind you in a car running at 2:00 in the morning or 11:30 at night?
I don't think I can get my mom up that early, but I definitely had a few of those nights where it's Friday and I didn't get my run in, and I'm thinking, well, it's dark outside, but I got a headlamp. So, and I've had a few of those nights. I'm definitely trying to stay on the grind and stay a true runner. And to me, running, I don't think it came as something natural to me. So as like last year, I started 10-minute miles. I was running slow. Like there was no guys out there slower than me. And whenever I worked to get where I am and I look back at that just lifts me up. And that makes me so happy to see that I could get that opportunity from my coach and from my school. And I'm definitely really thankful. And I'm definitely going to stay devoted.
Well, man, that is awesome. Coach, that's a well-spoken young man right there.
Oh, yes, he is.
Let me tell you. Well, the girls aren't here, so let's talk about them. You have 2 girls that started the season with you. You built the team up a little bit. Talk about them a little bit and how they're doing.
The 2 freshmen are coming along. We never really gave them any time sequences to run. We said just come out, enjoy the sport, run, but they've gotten to the point now where we're starting to press some time for them. I hate to say it, but kind of get away from the fun aspect of running and get to that, get some competitive spirit in you. And they're coming along. I mean, it's not bad for freshmen. Hopefully next year they'll be a little bit more competitive than they are, but they don't have a lot of experience in it. They're not natural runners, but those 2 girls work hard every day, and you're starting to see the improvement, and they're starting to see the improvement. So they're kind of starting to ask for a little bit harder, a little bit demand, what's the demand that I want out of them. And so that's nice to see on those girls. And then the 4 girls that kind of come out to help us get the team, just so we have a team on the line. Really appreciate those kids. A couple of them are former runners that have come back their senior year, want to be on the team. And it's like, in their high school career on an up note. And we appreciate those girls. And they've brought a couple friends along. And, it's kind of like, I would say it's almost like a little sisterhood they have going on there. So it's kind of nice to see.
Awesome. Well, Noah, one of the things that I don't think a lot of people understand is, you watch baseball, you see somebody strike out or hit a home run, instantly what that call was and how excited everybody was. While you're running, there's that moment when you break somebody, when you're trailing somebody and you're right on their heels and they try to keep your pace or you're out in front of them. What is that moment like for you as a runner, and how exhilarated do you actually get?
You can see it in some of the guys, because you'll see the guys who sprint forwards and then they slow down and you catch them, sprint forwards and slow down and catch them. In that moment, whenever you pass them and they just can't anymore, that's one of the best feelings, because you were fighting that whole time and they were fighting, but you just put more effort into it and you're trying. Like one of our guys, Martin, he came out and he was a freshman, and he went out and he decided he was going to go run like a 7 flat or a 6:45 pace. And I was just joking around because I thought there was no way. I seen this freshman. I was like, no, he ain't got nothing. So I just turned to my friends as we were running past him, and I just held up the thumb and I dropped it down and kept going. And I'm really excited to see what opportunities we get with him. So
awesome. No, but Coach, and like we've talked about this before a little bit, but you talk about the joy of running, right? There's a lot to be said with that, about personal achievement, about pushing yourself to your ultimate limit. Can you talk about how these kids that are in this program are so dedicated and push themselves beyond the limits that most average people can't even think about coming to?
That's true. Cross country and somewhat in track, you can't hide. Team sports, if somebody's, not the greatest player in the world, other people can pick it up and the team can still win. Cross country, it's you and a clock and the other people out there trying to do the same thing of beating each other, and you can't hide. There's no respite. Coach sees you pretty much the whole course. Parents see you, and it's you and somebody else. And I guess that's kind of the toughest thing about the sport, when you see kids that work, never give up in their race. That's enjoyable. As far as the fun part of the sport, hey, seeing the kids running together and talking and, heck, they're out there on an 8-mile run and they're having a good old time chit-chatting, laughing about whatever aspect of happens at school or whatever they saw on TikTok or whatever, nonsense they're into. And, that's the fun part, the team part there. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, man, it's great. Noah, just talk about the fact that, I know you want to put the school up on the map and everything. You want to win that and go further in the playoffs and everything, but it doesn't happen without a whole team, right?
Yeah.
You got to have your team score. But does it make it kind of hard for you sometimes when you want to hit those PRs? Like Coach mentioned, earlier that you wanted to hit, a certain deal at Lions Den. Does it kind of make it sometimes hard when you want to lift a teammate up on the course, to drag them with you, to go maybe drop back a little bit because you got that energy and not maybe hit that PR?
I never give a break, but I'll admit, Lions did. We were getting in the first 0.75 of the race. It was me and Martin, the new freshman coming up, great runner. He's coming, and we're running together, and we were fighting back and forth through those woods. We come out, we're about to go up the hill, and I see him trying to slack for a second. I'm like, dude, we got to push it. We got to go up the hill. I'm going to try and grab onto you and hold you for the rest of this. And so I try and, whenever I ran my freshman year, I could do a lot more yelling. And as I've got more intense into the running, trying to hit PRs, and I've realized how hard you got to work, I haven't been able to do that as much. And I got to admit, it's kind of hard, but I'm still trying to do whatever signal I can. If I can while I'm running, I try and raise the thumb up. I try and keep them going, especially whenever I see the junior high kids out there and I see them running out there on the course. Since we got those loops, I try and yell across if possible every day I can. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to sound selfish, but I don't slow down my PR, but I will do whatever I can to try and help my teammates out, because you can't do it alone. You got to have support.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Well, no, I'm going to stick with you real quick. What would you say to somebody out there, that may be in junior high running right now that thinks, oh, where can this take me? Or this is so tough. What would you say to them to stay in the sport and find that passion for it like you have?
I definitely say you have to do other meets. You have to find 5Ks. It's really hard to stay dedicated and keep running over and over those practice days before you get into the season. That's so hard to keep your dedication. And those 5Ks you do, they really lift you up. Like these meets, once you get in this part of the season, that's when your training really gets hyped up and your motivation's at the top, fighting for it. And I'd have to say you definitely have to go out and do 5Ks or go do a fun run, maybe half marathon, just for fun, just to enjoy it. You got to have those days you enjoy yourself. It's in practice, it's going to be hard and it's going to be boring since we don't get all the opportunities, but you still got alternatives. You got to search for them.
Man, Coach, I'm going to tell you, you need to send him over to the junior high and have him as a recruiter. He's actually got me thinking about running.
Yeah, he's a pretty good cat right there.
But Coach, what are the couple more meets you got coming up the next couple of weeks? People come out and check them out.
Let's see. So Thursday we take the high schoolers up to the run race at the lake, and it's Arlington Sam Houston meet. So that'll be Thursday. Pretty flat course. A lot of fast times are going to be had there. So Noah will be tested there. So will Martin and Juventino. Those guys, we're going to see what they can put together going into district. Junior high comes, their district meet for the Metro district is October 8th over in Waxahachie. I forgot, 16 teams, 16 junior highs in the district will be over there.
Yeah.
So that'll culminate their season on that date. Not too bad. I think the boys and the girls both could finish in the top 5 as far as teams go, and maybe a couple of the young cats. I think I maybe got 1 or 2 guys that could probably finish in the top 10, and one maybe 2 girls that could finish in the top 10. So that'd be a good end of season for those guys and girls. I lost my lats. And let's see. For the guys, for the high schooler, we got October 14th is the district meet over in Midlothian. So that'll culminate the season there, and hopefully we see the guys in the top 3 teams making it to regions, and hopefully Noah. The plan is to have Noah in the top 10 for sure, and maybe even Martin and Juventino either in it or close to it, and getting them guys to the regional meet. So a lot of work to do in the next 2 weeks, but I think we can make it happen and have some fruit on the tree at the end of this.
Awesome. Well, Noah, real quick, what is something that Coach has instilled in you or helped you out with that's made a world of difference or impacted your life?
There's a lot of answers to that question, but I think it's been the everyday grind of things. I think he can see whenever I'm just down and out, whenever it's that day I come into practice and I just want to give in. He's been there for me and helped me stay dedicated. He's really instilled hard working and just staying on the grind, because he's been straight with me. He's told me, no, I understand. You got to go out there and run that course over and over, and I know you're bored. And I know you have to go to linebackers and back, and I know you don't get that many options out here. But you got to keep pushing, and you got to look at the end goal, like going to district. You got to look for that 1747 you're looking for, and you got to look at what you're going to do next year because of this year. And he's definitely kept me as a hard worker.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Coach, we're going to wish you the best of luck as y'all continue on, and hopefully we can see some great things coming. And like Noah said earlier, hitting those extra meets after the season's done as far as district and everything. Noah, best of luck to you. We want to hear about that 1747 when it happens, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. And Coach, get out that tractor, and we'll see you on down the road.
The battle to belong begins here, among the few, the proud, the Marines.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy to access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC. Hey, Ellis County, guess what we got? We got Midlothian Heritage High School volleyball. Putting the slap on the ball a little bit there. Coach Weber is joining us. Kayla Williams, Kenley Pontivus, and Grace Sweeney. We got 2 seniors and a sophomore. Coach, there's a reason you bring these young ladies on, and y'all, we let y'all pick who you're going to bring on. What is it about this group of 3 ladies that is just so exceptional?
Well, Kayla and Kenley are 2 of our captains this year, and those are voted on by their teammates. I have nothing to do with that. So just the leadership there. Grace Sweeney is leading in kills in the area as a sophomore, and she's just an all-around stud. So I figured she should have a chance to be on here too.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, we're going to start off with a question for each one of y'all, okay? So, Kayla, we're going to start off with you, okay? What's the best thing in a volleyball game? Is it that perfect set? When you see somebody put that perfect set up, okay, and the ball's just like frozen in midair, and it's going to be a perfect picture shot, or is it spiking it down the girl's face where she can't react?
I think it's spiking it down the girl's face where she can't react.
You get 2 points for that, right?
Yeah, it should be 2
Okay.
points.
Well, Grace, what about you? Is it that perfect dig, or is it that perfect kill?
Perfect kill.
Okay, everybody's going with the kill so far. All right, Pontivus, lay it on us. I think I got it, what you're going to say.
Perfect pass.
Perfect pass.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. There we go, because that sets up the kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go, there we go. So, Kayla, okay, we're going to come to you. I know you're going to speak truth on this. Who is that crazy person on y'all's bus that's got the aux cord, that's back there doing the TikToks and getting everybody riled up before y'all go on one of these road games?
Probably Emily or Sydney.
Okay. Well, what's some of the, are there, like, is there certain things y'all trying to get Coach Weber to do one? What's it got, Kayla?
No, Coach Weber doesn't participate.
No.
I imagine Coach Weber doesn't know half the songs either, right?
True.
Probably not.
Okay. Well, Grace, who's that person that keeps everybody picked up all the time? Volleyball's such an emotional sport. You're going up and down a lot. Who's that person that no matter what's going on, lifts everybody up?
I would say there's a lot. We all try to lift each other up like a lot, but I say like Sydney or.
And what does she do to really get you that way?
Well, she seems like she's like a mom.
Oh, she's team mom?
Yeah. Her and
Okay.
Kinley.
Awesome. Well, Kenley, we're going to move over to you real quick. What's one of the things that y'all can do when coach is getting like dead serious, which I know she can, what's the one thing that y'all can do to kind of get her to grin a little bit and breathe a little bit easy, because y'all know y'all got it in you to win it?
Personally, Grace's kills.
Okay.
She gets yelled at, and then she goes out and gets a kill, and then we're all happy again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you got a great group of girls here. They're a lot of fun. They're energetic. But talk about, from your aspect, about the sisterhood that y'all built over there at Heritage through the volleyball program.
I've only been here 3 years, and
Yep.
the culture that I've tried to build just obviously is a unity. And all three of the teams. So especially talking about this year, with me not being there for the first 3 weeks, you know, they kind of had to do a lot of stuff on their own in regards to team bonding and making sure that they could kind of grow that chemistry and work together as a team. And they've done a really good job, and I haven't had to do a lot of it. Grace said it really well. You know, it's not just 1 or 2 people. I have 9 seniors. And so having that many with just experience in general and maturity sometimes, and just the leadership that they all have and are able to give in certain aspects of the game is kind of what makes it all mesh together.
Well, that sounds pretty awesome. And Kayla, we're going to jump up to you real quick. You know, right now I got you listed on the numbers I have at 144 kills thus far from the middle. And, you know, what's one of the things that I've seen about y'all is this year, even more so than ever, it seems like y'all are taking a lot of different angles. It seems like you're able not just to, you know, set one spot, you know, do this one, you know, come from the sides. It seems like y'all can attack from almost anywhere. How has that helped y'all this year thus far?
I think moving the ball around helps us against like the tougher teams we play, and it just helps us run like our offense at our speed.
Gotcha. And Kinley, you know, volleyball is that movement sport. You know, you don't get really a start of a play except for the serve. Everything's reactionary. And that first touch, like you mentioned before, is so important to set your play up and set it up right. How has that gave y'all an advantage? Because, I'm looking at the stats here, and I mean, you know, y'all are looking at 1,612 digs on the year thus far too. I mean, and those digs are not falling short because they're turning into points on kills. So how has that helped y'all get that thing going there?
We worked a lot on defense this year and passing because she's stressed so much that how important it is, and it's gotten a lot better. And defense is like a big part of what makes our team good.
Well, Coach, you know, I look at your schedule. We talked about this last time you came on. You didn't make it easy for these girls, okay? You know, I mean, you're basically at the turn for district. You got one more district game to go before the turn, and it's kind of showing in the district play. How has this really prepared y'all for not only another great district run, but a run towards the playoffs as well?
Well, I think I talked about it a lot in the first interview I had, just the growth. And, you know, we don't need to be at our best ball yet. And so being able to play those really tough teams early on and have confidence going into district and being really successful thus far. Obviously, we fell short to Godly, but knowing that we know exactly what we need to do because it was ourselves, you know, and being able to improve on all of those little details. And these kids have such amazing attitudes, and the work ethic is unlike, you know, a lot of people ever get to witness. So I'm just being able to prepare them mentally is obviously one of the biggest parts of the game.
Well, and Kinley, jumping back to you with another stat here, 87.3% on serving percentage. Pretty darn good right there. If I'd have had 87, I wouldn't have had to take geometry over again. But I'll tell you that right now. But just talk about how y'all are setting things up with a good, solid serve right off the bat.
Most of our team has pretty aggressive serves. Like, we don't really have anyone on our team that like serves easy at someone. So even our miss serves and like when they're kind of crazy, like they're still really good aggressive serves and like will make it difficult for the other team.
Can I
Kayla,
jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've just got to brag on them. This is one of the most aggressive serving teams I've ever coached in 12 years. And so for me, the risk is worth the reward. And over, I would say almost all of my girls are jump serving really aggressively. And that's another thing that they've worked really hard at and gaining confidence for. So our serving is what's kept us in a lot of games.
Well, you know, that's one thing people don't really think about. They just think you hitting it over, you know, and I'm sure Kayla playing in the middle a little bit, she's probably got her hands behind her back, giving signs and everything else. You know, am I wrong, Kayla?
Yeah, that's Coach Weber's job. Or Coach VC.
Oh, okay. But no, I mean, Caleb, but talk about your net play too. It seems like if you're going to have that many digs, if you're not playing the net well and taking away angles and feeding it to that defensive person to where they got a good angle on it, how much is that helping y'all out as well with all these digs that y'all been able to accomplish?
Yeah, I think you always have to be aware at the net and like always know where the setter is because they could always dump it over on two and just like try to be ahead of what the setter's doing.
Well, I tell you, and Grace, I always want to say Gracie when I see Grace, but real quick, the communication, when you're talking about leading in kills, there's a lot of communication that goes on that most people don't ever notice, right? About what you're doing, where your set's coming. And then, having that preseason, get that timing down, which is extremely hard. How have y'all taken those two things and made them your own this year to where there's that communication, that timing, and it seems like it's almost flawless right now?
I think it's really the setters being like acceptable to the information they're gathering from every hitter. To like, whenever they get criticism, they aren't down about it. They're like, okay, I'll fix it.
Okay, and Grace, I'm going to skip you for 1 second. We're going to go talk to the seniors real quick, and I'm going to get right back to you. But Kinley, being a senior, being there 3 years with Coach, how much has she poured into you? How much has it meant to you to have her as a coach?
Oh, she's by far been my favorite coach I've had. And I'm not even just saying it because she's here and she's my coach right now. It's 100% true. And she's done so many things that have made our team have a better bond. This year, I've never been this close with a volleyball team ever until this year.
Well, Kayla,
great.
I'm sorry. I thought you're done. Kayla, what about you? How has Coach affected you, not only on the court, but off the court as well?
I think Coach Weber always pushes us to be our best. Even when we can't get the Columbus drill, she knows that it's gonna help us in the game in the tough situations. So even though she's tough, I think she does it all out of love, and that's what I like about Coach Weber. That's
awesome. And Grace, we're going to come to you now, okay? One of the things being an underclassman is you make these bonds, especially coming up as fast as you have and with the skills that you have, but you make these bonds with these upperclassmen. What about them makes you want to go out there and even excel even more and get these big wins for them on their senior year?
Well, knowing it's their last year, I really want to make it as memorable as possible, so that they're all just having fun. And, yeah.
Okay. Well, Coach, Midlothian Heritage has always had a good winning tradition ever since y'all opened. I don't think volleyball's had a losing season as of yet, and it just seems like every year there's the old plug and play, right? You got somebody prepared. Talk about not only your assistant coaches and what they mean to the program, but your junior high coaches as well, because that's where they get them started.
Absolutely. I'll start with the middle school. I've had the luxury of being able to go over there during first period and in the mornings. And so being able to create that relationship, first of all, has been very, very important. This year, we actually had three that we had to replace. And again, due to pregnancy in their choices. So they're still part of the district and we love them very much. Yeah. But we had to hire 3 new coaches, and that can be really difficult, and so having, again, that short preseason, I was kind of gone, but they come up and they help, and they were all at tryouts, and so they kind of see how things are run and the expectations and just the buy-in. You'll hear me say that all the time. They've bought into just what I want and the success, that the tradition, the pride that we have in this program. And then in turn, my assistants, I only have 2. I don't have a varsity assistant that I get to work with one-on-one. And so being able to, and we all, by the way, practice at different times. And so I don't get to be in all of them as much as I would like to be. So just trusting each other. We spend a lot of time outside of just the school day, communicating and just talking about exactly what we can do to better our program. And it's not just about the varsity, because this is a perfect example where I'm losing 9. And so being able to, again, trust that they're doing everything that they possibly can to build these kids and love on them. It's so much more than just the game of volleyball, but so to where that they want to come back and want to be a part of something, bigger than themselves.
That's pretty darn awesome. Well, the only thing I learned from one of your junior high coaches was how to do an archer serve from Coach Bowers. So, I don't know if any of y'all went to Walnut Grove or not, but she was my daughter's coach. But Kayla, we're going to pick on you a little bit, okay? I want you to channel your inner Michael Irvin, get beast mode, and tell Ellis County why they ought to come out and watch your games.
Y'all should come out and watch our games because I feel like we're a really good group to watch and we're always hype and uplifting.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad. All right, Coach, what's the next couple of games you got? I know you got, last district before the turn coming up. I believe that's Friday, correct?
Yes.
Or is that Tuesday? I forget if it's Friday or Tuesday.
Yes.
What's the next couple at home?
So Friday is at home, and that's Hillsborough. Funny enough, every Friday of district play is a home game, and every Tuesday is an away game. So, yeah, we play Hillsborough this coming Friday, October 1st, and then we turn around and play Godley, which is, again, just a very important game. We would love as many people out to support us as possible. That is next Friday, October 8th, which is also middle school night. So all of our middle school kids will be recognized during that game as well.
Well, I know one you might have on the schedule. Might be 10-15. Might be highlighted there. Little revenge game.
Which one's that? I'm sorry. Is that the game?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. We're all looking forward to that.
All right. Well, Ellis County, make sure you make it out and see these Heritage Jaguar volleyball players any Tuesday and Friday night, because guess what, folks? It's not always about Friday night lights. We got Tuesday night lights in Ellis County as well. Ladies, we wish y'all the best. We'll be talking to you down the road probably when the playoffs hit, because we know y'all be there. Y'all have a good night now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In Ellis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
And it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas. All right, Ellis County, guess what? We got Ferris Football's very own head coach, Coach Greek. Coach Greek, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us on.
No problem. Hey, man, 3-2 on the season thus far, halfway through regular season. Had a great showing thus far. I mean, 284 yards per game through the air, 179 on the ground. That's what y'all been averaging. What are the things that you're happiest about at this halfway point for y'all?
I think, for us, what we love to see is the way our kids are competing, how hard they're playing, how coachable they are in practice when we're trying to solve problems, make corrections. Our kids crave being coached and coached hard. So that makes coaching in this profession a lot of fun when you've got kids that are craving to be critiqued and coached and also loved and encouraged. So we're trying to find that balance about the things that we're doing well and building on that. And then there's still so much to clean up, but we're heading in the right direction.
Well, there's always something to clean up. Otherwise, we wouldn't need film rooms, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, but I mean, you got a fast hitting offense as well. I mean, thus far this year, we were lucky enough to be there for this one. 99 yards is your longest run from line of scrimmage, which was an amazing run right off the end on the left-hand side. And then 86 for the longest receiving touchdown. Just talk about, coaching these kids up and just the talent level and play design that you're able to do with them because of them wanting to be so coachable.
Well, I think that, again, we're in year one and really just 5 weeks into the season of installing a brand new defense and new offense. We've had some early season, I won't say injuries, but I think everybody in the sport of football has, the bumps and the bruises and the kids that they might miss a half or they might miss a game. And so you got to move a few kids around and play musical chairs. And I think the non-district schedule really for us has been to find out what kids can find a home. And then as we evaluate the film and watch it, we realize that, man, there's some kids that are showing up in practice that are getting noticed, or they did some good things in a game. And maybe if we try them here at this position, they can add a ton of value to the team success. And so that's really, what we're trying to do is install and be very good at our base defense. And then offensively, whether it's throwing or running, go into each game with a solid game plan that our kids in year one of this installation can take the field with confidence and feel like they can go out, move the chains and score points. And so that's each week is a new opportunity to go out and prove that we are getting better.
Well, and does it not speak volumes about the guys that you brought in and kept? They're in a year one program to be 3-2, to have some of these stats that y'all are having. It goes into the buy-in, and kids don't buy in unless they believe in. There's got to be some belief in y'all. So, how is that working for y'all as far as, these kids? I know these kids down there, they're buying into everything y'all are selling. And they're buying into all your assistant coaches because they're completely in. Is that not the case there, or am I off a little bit, or do you speak on that a little bit more?
Yes, sir. I think, absolutely. They've seen the work ethic that our coaching staff has brought. And Coach Lane and his staff over the years did a phenomenal job of installing great work ethic in these kids in this community. I mean, we say it a lot. We're Ferris. We're the city that bricked the nation. So we wear that slogan proudly, that we're Bricktown. And so because of that, we've wanted to match, the core DNA of what our community is all about, working hard. And so I think the kids have seen the work that our coaches have put in, and then they've seen the master plan, if you will, of the things that we feel we can do on any given game night. And then it's validated when they start to go out there and have some success. And so, yes, Coach Johnson, associate head coach and defensive coordinator, and Coach Peavy, our assistant head coach and offensive coordinator, both experts in their own right, have done a great job with our coaching staff, both the returning staff as well as the new staff. They brought in some innovative ideas, some things that we're trying to do. And just today, I mean, we rolled out some, I won't say massive changes, but we took today's practice and tweaked some things and changed some things, because we're always on that quest of getting better. And so just what worked last week or 4 weeks ago, that might not work this week.
Yeah.
And so we are constantly looking to tweak and to change, and without compromising the core of what we want to be and who we want to be when we take the field. And that's why coaching is challenging and fun, is because there's no cookie cutter approach. You got to reach your kids and meet your kids where they're at, and then build on it. And so that's what our staff has done a tremendous job of doing. And I'll say one more thing. We have something we call the 4-way test, where players trust players, players trust coaches, coaches trust coaches, and coaches trust players. And that's that relationship that we're trying to build across the board on that 4-way test. And so we're doing a good job on working toward that goal, the 4-way test.
And, is that not evident with something like, this last week, right? Tommy Dixon grabs a couple touchdowns, has a great game, right? But then big nose number 65 grabs a pass in the corner of the end zone, and everybody's just as excited for him. I know linemen probably going nuts, but you know, Tommy's over there. I think in the footage we had, Tommy's like one of the first people over there. You know, does that not, you know, encapsulate kind of that feeling that you're getting down there?
Sure it does. And you're referring to the 2-point conversion on our extra point. And what's crazy is Jacob Ramos is a tight end and a defensive end, but because we had some kids out this week, he worked offensive line. And so we made sure we put a lineman number on him. And sure enough, on an extra point, we had our call that we made, and the ball ended up in his hands, and he has excellent hands. And so it was no surprise when everybody went crazy because they love him and they know what he puts the team first. And so you probably captured a pretty special moment. Now, we did get flagged, and I told the official that's the right call. But you know what? We lined back up and we kicked the extra point, and our kids never quit. And I think that was what was awesome to see. Our home crowd, our stands, our band, our cheer, they didn't leave even when the score didn't necessarily reflect that it was going to be a game. But our kids didn't quit fighting. And you know what? We feel like we just ran out of time against a very good Canton team. And we appreciate that home support that we had, standing ovation, even in the midst of a loss, because I think they see what our kids are working toward. And it makes coaching this bunch of young men a lot of fun.
Well, I know this summer, you know, you had your reading assignment. I imagine y'all are still going through some of the aspects of it, but chop wood, carry water. And, you know, you just see that, you know, folks, if you haven't read the book, definitely read the book. Okay. It's great read, but you just see the elements of the situations in that book come to life in your team recently, you know, through this entire season. And does that give you some joy that not only is your players joining in with this philosophy, but also the town as well?
Well, I mean, everything that we've tried to roll out and implement from our leadership lessons during the summer, our character lessons, who we're trying to become, and anybody that's in the profession of education, when you're working with young people, it is not a microwave. It's not like making instant oatmeal. You don't just add water and microwave it. It is more like a crock pot. It takes a lot of time. We're planning a garden. Some of us get to come along and plant seeds for some of the young men and young women that we coach and impact in the classroom and through athletics. Seeds have been planted by teachers and youth pastors and community members and moms and dads, and then you get to come along and water it. And then every now and then you get to see glimpses of the harvest. And so it's been said before, if you want to know what kind of coach you have, you know, come back and ask in 10 or 15 years when these kids are 28, 35 years old, because many times then you do see the fruit of the life lessons and the character development that you've tried to instill in them. But I will say that it brings great joy when you see these kids keep battling, no matter what the scoreboard says, and give themselves a chance to make the community proud. Absolutely. You'd like to think that what we're modeling and emphasizing is rubbing off on them a little bit.
You can definitely tell it around town, man. And I'll tell you right now, you know, you got a big game against Bridgeport this coming Friday night at home. And, you know, what are some of the things you'd like to have, you know, cleaned up this week in practice before you hit that next big game?
Right. I know that defensively, Coach Johnson has emphasized with the staff and with the kids that we want to have 11 kids in the frame on film, so to speak, swarm tackle, you know, get to the football, relentless effort, hit and wrap up, fundamental football, do your job, have your assignment. You know, we gave up some big plays because we were maybe reading keys that wasn't our job. And so again, tightening a lot of that up and trusting one another. That's, you know, sometimes you can't fault a kid's effort, but sometimes you get in trouble when you're trying to do your job plus someone else's job. And that might be a trust factor, a communication issue. So I know on the defensive side of the ball, those are some things we want to see. In special teams, again, we want to continue to kick and cover. And when we're scoring a lot of points, you got a lot of kickoffs, and we want to pin them back and give and have the great field position battle, which I feel like overall we've done a pretty good job this year. And then offensively, we have got to stay in front of the chains, as they like to say. We have had in the first 4 out of our 5 games, we've had a tremendous amount of penalties on offense, and it's not because of the officials. It's because we have been undisciplined, either with movement, pre-snap, false starts, or illegal shifts or motions. And some of that, again, is year one, sprinkling in some of these terminologies and code words and all those things we want to do. I think we found some success as we've tried to keep it a little bit more simple, again, because we're also playing several kids that play on both sides of the ball. And so the retention there is important, but also, just the holding penalties. We would have a 5-yard and 8-yard gain. It should be 2nd and 2, which is a manageable down. Let's move the chains and get a first down. And all of a sudden you're looking up and there's a penalty, and it's 1st and 20. There's not a lot of good football plays to call on 1st and 20 and 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 20 for that matter. We had too many turnovers this last game. So all of that goes together. And I think that the more our kids can understand, let's play great, disciplined football, we're going to be, we believe, in every game. And it starts this week with like you said, a very good Bridgeport team, well coached by Coach Martinez and his staff. And his kids get after it on film, and we need to come out. We need to put in the work every day and stack good days one on top of the other so that we can be our best on Friday night.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if you haven't been down there and watched one of the games yet, make sure you're down there Friday night. Coach is doing this the way Bricktown was built, brick by brick, not only on the field, but off the field with these young men as well. And doing a great job as AD is also, because it just, there's a little bit of a transformation down there. From what I've seen, I can say that I'm kind of an outsider looking in, but it just seems like, every school district wants that one big win, and I think that first game kind of changed a little bit of attitudes down there, against Maypearl. But it's, we talked about this during the summer a little bit, gathering sticks and setting a fire. And I think y'all are on the well way to finding the matches. Coach, we wish you the best of luck Friday night, and tell the boys we said hi, and we'll see you on down the road, okay?
Yes, sir. And we appreciate you and DownHome Sports and all the entire community. We've heard of alumni that now live outside of Ferris. They live in Ennis. They live in North Dallas. They live in East Texas. And the word is getting out. And really, again, it's not us. It's the kids. It's the community. Yeah. They're coming together, and we feel the love and support. And so each time we take the field, we want to make everybody proud. So thank you, everyone, for your support. And thank you, Tater, for all you do for kids and high school sports.
Elite Tire and Automotive. Ever have one of those days and just need a little hand? Well, with our remote services, we'll just hop right on it. Get you back on the road quick and easy. With automotive services to cover all your mechanical needs. Need that state inspection done? Well, we can do that too. So roll on in and see a friendly face. Give us a call, and we can be right on the spot to assist you. So trust the friendly folks down at Elite Tire and Automotive, 972-775-1055. Well, guess what, Ellis County? It's the one, the only head coach of your Ennis tennis team. It's Coach Howard. Coach Howard, how are you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing great, Tanner. Just pumped to be on here again.
Well, I won't tell you what, man. We got to talk about Kansas tennis first. How they doing? What's going on?
Man, they're just for college. Spring's really their season, so they're just playing some tournaments right now. As far as Zoe, she's loving it. She's nowhere near being in the lineup or anything. She's just learning and getting better every day. So she's kind of taking her knots on her head right now. I think she's getting beat every day.
Well, that's a hard thing being a freshman up in collegiate level. You know,
Oh, yeah,
Coach,
he's loving it.
well, let's jump
Yep.
over them Ennis lines, man. I mean, y'all
Mhm.
have been tearing it up, you know?
Man, it's I think the last time we talked, I don't know, it comes across like we've been dominating, but we just kind of scoot by every year. And man, Sam and them Midlothian, they had us and we escaped them, and kind of the same way with Corsicana, man. They had us in a bad spot, and we come out with a win against them too. I can't even explain to you how we did it. It just kind of, it's better to be lucky than good sometimes. I think we got lucky twice this year.
Well, I mean, but talk about your kids and the grit and determination that they're showing. You know, when you see those team scores up there and you know what matches are kind of going on, you got to find that intestinal fortitude to say, hey, man, I'm going to get this next point. I'm going to win this next serve.
Yeah. It's been, I tell you, it's been a great year for us. For a lot of people, they thought we were having a rocky start since we were like 1-5, but I made a really tough schedule just because you want to make sure your kids don't get too overconfident, and that can happen even though we graduated at 8, and the ones that are here weren't in the lineup. Sometimes they can just think, hey, we always win. So I scheduled some tough opponents, some 6A opponents. And so to everybody, it looked like it was a rebuilding year, but I stressed to the team that we're really just trying to get ready for that Midlothian and Corsicana match. And it seemed to work out because we had a tough match against those guys, and we were prepared because we had those other 5 losses to like Mansfield and some other Arlington Martin, some other 6As, so our kids, it wasn't the first time we faced some real adversity. So I think it worked out for us.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it's kind of hard not to expect to win when you're 78-0 in district. Yeah. I mean, talk about that number. And I know a number is just a number, okay? But that's a pretty impressive number, and it should, based on, the way things are going right now and, what you see from different teams, you have a great chance of making that 80 this year and another district title. Just talk about what it means to the town and to the kids and to the school.
Well, I tell you, it really hit home the other day in practice. We sat around and talked about it, and we just started talking about the kids' age on the team and this and that. And there's some kids that are, 15 on varsity and 16 on varsity. And I looked at them and said, guys, you realize when you were 3 and 4 years old, we were having these same talks with a group of kids about being undefeated. And I said, so that really puts it in perspective how long we've been doing this. And they just kind of looked at me. And I said, man, it's an impressive thing. Like you said, I think we'll, no discredit to the last 2 teams, but I think we should be able to finish 80-0. And it's a lot of pressure on the kids. And so all this year, right before we go play, we've been saying the same thing. I've been telling them, hey guys, one day we're going to have to lose. One day we're going to have to lose. And then we'll just everybody will start saying, not today. Not today, though. So we'll have to lose one day, but not today. And we just go out and play that way. And I tell you, when I say Sam and them had us in a predicament, it didn't come out of doubles the way we thought. And then the same thing with Corsicana. It didn't follow the script, but man, our kids hung around, and I'm telling you, it was. I'm super pumped. Can't believe it. So
well, I don't get to make it out to too many matches and stuff, but we do have people out there shooting them and do highlights of your team, and it just seems like you got a couple girls out there that are really doing good on the returns. They've been holding their serves and everything. I got to see a little bit of the Red Oak match, and a couple of those young ladies went for some long volleys. Yeah. And it wasn't like it was just little dink shots.
Well, I can tell you this is what some people, if at the Corsicana match, it was kind of crazy. It was 8-all, and we had 3 matches left on, and then we knew we were going to win this one guys match. He had won like 6-0, up 5-0. And we had 2 girls matches on. I'm going to tell you, the girl that won it for us, Abigail Fritchie, she was on the court and she was up a set and it was like 4-all. They started having these long rallies. I kid you not. They were over 150 shot rallies. People started counting them. So on match point, I think it was like 139 shots. It was kind of boring, to be honest, but neither girl wanted to miss. Neither girl wanted to make a mistake. And if you know Abigail Fritchie, man, that's the opposite of hers. She was laughing, saying, Coach, I normally can't get 2 or 3 balls in because she loves to hit it so hard. And I don't know where she found the fortitude to all of a sudden, it was all her. I can tell you that. It was all her, just to hang in there and let everybody cheer for her and put the pressure on the other girl. And it just turned out. It was a cool thing.
That's awesome. Well, one thing I've kind of seen from your team is they're winning first serves a lot, or it just seems like that to me. That first service, not having to go to a second serve.
Man, that's good if you've seen that, because that's something we always get on to them about. It'd be the same as a baseball coach, not wanting his pitchers to get behind in the count, all the time. You know, to start off each batter with that first strike, makes a huge deal. So I'm glad my team would be happy to say that, because I wear them out about getting that first serve in, and we do a lot of match play and practice where we only get 1 serve. So so maybe that's why you've seen that. But
well, I mean, as a coach, would you be happy with a quarterback rating of 99.5, or do you want 145? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No, I mean, it just seems like everybody's kind of gotten really on top of their game thus far, and that's evident in just seeing a couple things here and there, and just seeing the camaraderie. And basically, I don't know how else to put it, but camaraderie, because as soon as somebody makes a mistake, they're right there with them. Hey, we got this. This is what we need to do this time. The communication seems to be great with this team overall. Can you talk about that a little bit?
That's something we always hang our hat on. Like I said, if you've been in any matches and you've seen like Midlothian, man, they're a spirited bunch, and they'll get loud and all that stuff. And Corsicana, they'll do the same thing, and my kids will too. But I always tell them, it seems to when the match gets closer, you can tell really how tight knit a team is. Really, do they keep cheering or do they not? And it's like you said, our kids. I would like to say me and Coach Johnson and then Coach Doslich, that's something I never bring up as much as I should. But the coaching staff in Ennis, I get the interviews and the awards and stuff. But Coach Johnson and Coach Doslich have been with me. Let's see, 15. Coach Johnson been with 15 years, and Doslich 5, and that's where that whole camaraderie and stuff comes from. They played for me. So when I'm getting old like I am now, and I may start getting a little soft, they still preach that old Lionheart tennis, smash mouth tennis, because they played for me, and they played for a younger version of me, and a lot grittier and tougher guy. And I'd have to give credit to my assistants to keeping that going, because like I said, it means a lot to me, but it means a heck of a lot to them too, because they're responsible for hanging a bunch of those banners on the wall, So, yeah, I would say our team camaraderie. I would say that has to be the difference in those close matches like this year again.
Well, what's that standout doubles team for you this year that just is doing so great? And then what's that team that has really surprised you? Is there a team?
Well,
those teams that surprised you thus far?
One. Yeah, There's not one, to be honest with you. We have, like I said, by graduating 8, and really of the 8, we graduated 4 of our top 6 girls. So we've really been just switching up our doubles lineup, trying to find the correct chemistry and try to find some wins on the girls' side. And then we've been kind of doing that on the guys' side too. So there really hadn't been, I can't say there's just been one doubles team that's really been doing this or doing that. I can say, as far as a standout, as far as a surprise, Trevor Jacobs, he's a freshman, and we knew he was going to be in the lineup. We just didn't know where in the lineup. And man, he's been playing number 2 for us and really been doing well. Playing 2, playing 1, 2 doubles. And that's a lot to ask for a freshman, especially when you go play Midlothian, you go play Corsicana. Man, that's a lot of pressure. And I would say he's the surprise as far as, doing a lot better than we thought, playing higher. But it's been awesome. We have, if you're doing it right, you're going to have a bunch of seniors every year. We have 8 seniors, but we're just trying to, we're just trying to keep it going. I know everybody's gunning for us, and we're going to get everybody's best. So, hey, pressure's a privilege is what I tell the kids. So.
Oh, I got you. Well, Coach, you got Monday night tomorrow. You're going down and playing. You're playing at Waco. Make sure everybody is aware of that. But what's the next match after that? What would be that magic number one?
Yeah, we play Waco U tomorrow, and then the week after that on Tuesday, we finish district out. We're playing Cleburne at home in Ennis. And then that's when, we can, I guess, officially be the district champs then and have a little bit celebration. And then after that, it looks like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, we'll have the 4th place team out of, I think it's the Mesquite district, maybe Mesquite Poteet. I think it's that district in the playoffs. That would be our first round of the playoffs. And if we were to do well in that, we would play, looks like we'd play Longview or Texas High in Tyler again. So kind of the same district, the same playoff run as last year. And we're just trying to take, I know every coach says that, but try to take one match at a time. And if we can get back to where we were last year and get to play the defending state champs, the Highland Park Scots, man, that would, not many people get pumped about playing them, but I sure do. Because
the down home rule, right?
What's that?
Everybody in Ellis County needs to beat everybody above 20.
Yeah. That's true. So,
no. Well, I know 78's not like the round number everybody likes, but we just want to take a moment because, I'm sure everybody's going to be wanting to talk to you when you hit 8-0, but
yeah,
it's just an amazing feat thus far.
I can tell you, it's just now starting to sink in. And I told Coach Johnson the other day, I kind of got on to him. I said, man, we got to do a better job of being happy. Everybody's always chasing us, and you're always thinking about next year. I said, man, we need to really just sit back and just be happy. There's nothing wrong with being happy. It's not being arrogant, but man, just be proud of the kids because it really is true. Like, man, just that you're talking to me, you could be talking to Sam, or you could be talking to Chad and Corsicana. They both had good teams, and I guarantee you they can't tell you how we beat them either. It was just a good match, and somehow we come out just a little bit better, I guess. So,
well, Sam ain't wanting you to face Highland Park. He's wanting another chance at you. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I know.
But no, Coach, just know that we appreciate everything that you've done. And to us, what 78 consecutive wins in district means is, like you said, you're talking those kids, some of them 15, 16. How many kids' lives you've touched, how many kids' lives your program has made better in this world. And we want to give a tip of the cap to you because, tennis coaches don't get a lot of love out there. You've had an excellent program, not taking away from anything else anybody's done in the county, but you've ran your program with, just grace and humility the entire time. And we just appreciate you and appreciate all the things that you've done for all these kids.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate I appreciate everything y'all do for me, man. I really do. And the coverage it's just awesome. It's awesome. So thank you for the compliment.
Well, it makes it easy when we got coaches like you out there, let me tell you, and kids like the ones you got. Well, folks, make sure you make it out to the next 2 matches. Okay, get on out there. For once, I will give you one. All right. So in Ellis County, you know where to go for the best pizzas and burgers.
Welcome to Doe City. How are you doing today?
A menu that allows you to have it just the way you like it. Great, friendly customer service. And all the toppings you can handle. So what do our customers say about Doe City?
We come up here all the time, so we love the pizza and the burgers also.
It's somewhere we can all come and have a good time with our friends and enjoy the good food that they have here. I love the fries.
And it's cooked to order, so you're always gonna get it fresh.
Doe City's always a great place to come and hang out with your friends.
Whether it's Tuesday or Friday night after a ball game in Ellis County, guess what? You can always make it over and have a little bit of delicious.
It's delicious.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
So come in or order out at Doe City Pizza and Burgers in Red Oak, Texas.
This is Trent Varigan with DownHome Sports. I thank y'all for coming. This is Caden Jenkins and Eric McNary from Life Waxahachie. So Eric, tell us about yourself.
Yes, I am in my senior year, my high school. I won the 100, 200, 4x1, 4x2. I am currently the fastest on the team.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I love to see my team compete, like get to know them in the relay, like, see them win their events, like Caden, his long jump, and him in the 400. I like to see him do well. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you, Eric. Caden, tell me about yourself.
To me, with myself, I love to compete. I love seeing everybody on my team get better. And I love to just go hard all the time, 100%.
So, Eric, do you have any interest in college for your senior season?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me about it?
I've just been getting out to coaches, emailing them, hopefully getting emails back. You're not going to get an email back from every coach, but the ones you do get back, you take advantage of that and you stay in contact with them.
All right, for sure. And can you tell me 3 reasons why you got into track, Eric?
My sisters ran in college and high school. I fell in love with it right when the first meet I ever went to of theirs. And, I always wanted to get into it. And so they trained me. And then I started running at school.
Okay, thank you. And Caden, what's the best part of competing for you? Because you said you love to go 100% and compete.
Best part of competing is like a transition. When I used to run from JV, it was no competition. I always got a gold medal in every event I went into until I went to varsity, and it was like a large variety of competition, and it wasn't as easy as it used to be.
Okay, I understand that. Can y'all tell me your PRs?
PR. Eric, you want to go first?
Oh yeah, I'll go first. My for the 100, my PR is 10.9, and for the 200, 23.1.
Okay.
My PR for high jump is 5'11", and my PR for the 400 is 52 seconds.
Okay. Now, is anybody you look up to, Caden, and track? Because I know Eric said his sister, but anybody you look up to?
Anybody I look up to. There was this one high jumper that attends LSU College, but I don't remember his name.
All right. Tell me, what does it take to compete? Like, what do you have to put your body through? Both of y'all can tell me. Eric, you can start.
You just have to stay consistent, like keep working out. You can't have a poor diet or poor workout skills, work out once a week. You gotta stay consistent and keep pushing your body.
All right. And Katie?
Like you said, one day behind, that makes the competition one day ahead.
How do you believe this season will go for you, Caden?
I believe the season will go in my favor if I just keep working hard, being consistent, staying and getting better at a better level.
For Eric, who supports you the most in your track career?
I would have to say my mom. Yeah, I know she doesn't like understand track like that. Even though all of my sisters ran, but she still doesn't understand it. But like, yeah, she makes sure she's at every meet, records every race I run. So yeah.
All right. What about you, Caden? Who supports you the most?
I feel like my mom supports me the most, even though I know she can't be there for every track meet and everything. She shows up when she can and she records me and cheers me on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me, but your mom's good too. That's all right though. But Eric, you think you'll go to state this year?
In the 200 in relays, yes, I feel like we have in the relay we have a chance. In the 200, I have a chance, honestly.
Caden, what's your most favorite thing to do in track? I know you do a lot, but what's the most favorite?
High jump is my favorite thing to do in track.
And why?
Because every time I go out there, I can just go out there and compete against myself to see how higher I can get.
Okay, I respect that. What about you, Eric?
My favorite probably has to be the relay because I like the team chemistry. You know, like seeing my teammates train and us coming together and showing us what we can do.
All right. Eric, can you tell me about the coaches? Do you think they're right forward? Do you like them?
I mean, yeah, it's mutual. Like they're both like, well, yeah, like they're both like I don't really get to train with the other one because he's specifically hurdle, but with Coach Linscomb, the main head coach, right for right now. Yeah, he's a pretty good coach. You know, he tries to get around to everybody as he can because it's only one of them. But yeah, I think he's a pretty good relay coach and sprint coach.
Okay. What about you, Caden? I know you love Coach Dagan, but can you tell me about him? What you love about
Coach
him?
Dagan, because I practice with Coach Dagan and Coach Linscomb. Sometimes it's in between. But yeah, I'm mostly with Coach Dagan, and yeah, he just attends to me like a father figure that I never could have. So he just like, trains me, protects me, helps me out. Coach is really good. They know what they're doing.
Okay. Thank you for coming and attending DownHome Sports. This was Eric McNary, Caden Jenkins from Life High School, Waxahachie, and I'm Trenton Varigan. Peace.